Hello, welcome back to another episode of Mining and Mindfulness. I am ready to go face the Ender Dragon, but first I need to do some TNT mining. Hey, that's odd. It's gone. What the hell? It's gone. Where's all my crap? Did it not save? Oh, what a load of bull. I hate that. Whatever. I'm gonna keep in the recording anyway. We're gonna keep going. Today's episode is gonna be about anger and what the hell? What? Huh? No! We're gonna ignore that. Damn. Goes all the way down. Nice. Hello, welcome to Mining and Mindfulness. Let's Minecraft. The first episode is gonna be about anger. I'm gonna be real honest. I got like anger problems, and it's not very pleasant. But well, I figured it's time to do something about that. So, I found boxing's a really good hobby. Well, man, that is such a lucky spawn. Uh, That's really cool. But basically, I'm gonna become a nutritional coach, and I figured I might as well get some coaching practice in. And what better way than to coach myself? Because ideally, that's what you want everyone to do. Really, I mean, you're gonna have clients, and the ideal goal is for them to coach themselves. You're just kind of like helping them get the skills they need to do so. I'm gonna. I like rage quit the last Minecraft world. It was. I like playing with keep inventory on, so that's what I'm gonna do for this time. And I'm alright with that. Blast furnace is pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna need some like tools and whatnot. But yeah, I find boxing really helps. I know I make the boxing shorts, and I'm aware that they're not pretty good. Like you guys don't need to worry. I'm not like delusional or anything, and think I'm a badass. I just do it for fun. It helps get a lot of energy out. It helps me with anxiety, which I think is where a lot of the anger comes from. Y- you know, uh, I kind of want more for my life than just going home from work, playing video games, and I really want my coaching business to take off. Oh, cool! It's an armadillo. I like how it's square because it's Minecraft. He's not round. Hey, Arthur. He's got stubby little legs. I can't remember the last time I've seen one of these. I forgot they were a new thing they added. Come to think about it, the cows look funny too. What biome is this? Yeah, I think this is where I'm gonna build my house. I'm gonna build it a bit further away from the village. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build my house, and I'm gonna have like a wall around the village, ideally. And then I could make some kind of mine shaft up to the village. But yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, sorry I got distracted. Oh, they even got cats. Oh. Little buddy. Right. Back to business. You know, boxing helps a lot, and right now I kind of consider myself a goofball when boxing. Like, I'm not really that good. The main thing holding me back from getting good is, like, my anger issues, because right now I'm just kind of a bit of a goof, but I don't want to actually hurt anybody. So even though the boxing does help, if I got good at boxing, I want to make sure I'm in, like, a right headspace in order to do so. I get pretty angry. It makes me very shameful. And, that anger does stem from loneliness, and because... And I know this is kind of heavy, and, I'm... And honestly, I don't really blame anyone if this doesn't get, like, likes or views or whatever. I mean, honestly, you're on YouTube to watch what's entertaining. I'm on YouTube to watch what's entertaining. It's completely understandable. But, and I've just been feeling kind of lost lately. And I've been trying so hard to, like, get better. I tried going to church communities. I still felt like an outsider. I'm not gonna go into detail about it because it's been a long time since it happened. But I was betrayed by my friends, and I can't really make new ones. And I was about to get a girlfriend, but she stopped talking to me. I think I asked to be boyfriend and girlfriend too soon. Because I have, like, an older view of dating. Like, I didn't think it was that serious. I didn't think it'd be that intimidating. It would just mean that, she wouldn't date other people, and I wouldn't date other people. It's not like we're gonna get married. It's not like I'm asking for marriage. But, I do think I did kind of ask too quickly, because I really wanted that emotional connection. And, the worst part is that we seemed very compatible. And I want to reach out to her again, but I don't want to be desperate and annoying. And like, sometimes it just feels right to let people reach out to me. Because, if I just fix all the problems and do all the stuff like that, then that's how people are gonna treat me, as, like, a guy who fixes problems. And it really kind of makes me conflicted, because I like serving people. It's what I do for my job. I love my job. But, I just want to be more than, like, the guy that does work. I want, deep relationships, deep connections, and it just feels hard to get that. And, honestly, what's more likely, Does everyone in my church community just stink, or maybe the problem's me? Like, let's be realistic. I mean, people at the church community... I don't feel included. It feels like I get one pity hello, and then the rest of the time they just ask me to, like, do things and serve. They did invite me to, like, go places, and I did, but it just felt like it wasn't working out for me. I tried it for, like, 3 months. There was also some issues with a certain person there, and they didn't apologize. They're not going to apologize, and I don't feel like I can talk to them about that, because usually when I talk to people about my feelings, it does not go well. They don't care, and then they accuse me, and then I get defensive. And, it's been something I just really been trying to work on, but I keep, like, getting mad and angry. And it just feels really hard to fight. It's like, you know, this isn't really like coach oriented stuff, is it? But you know, I guess I was kind of hoping that there'd be a contrast. I mean, I did this mining and mindfulness series already. I was at least hoping there'd be a bit more growth, but you know what? No, I did grow. I did get a D&D group. I did get like a date. I didn't think I'd even get a date, but I got a date. And you know, it makes me very confused because a lot of people are telling me, "Oh, don't respond. Let her respond to you." I already tried reaching out multiple times, and you know, I just really don't want the relationship to die. But at the same time, I also don't want to be walked on. I mean, if she's really interested in me, she'll reach out, right? And you know, I understand people are busy and like have their own lives, and even when I do get a relationship, there's gonna be times where it's like, okay, we're gonna like take some time for ourselves. You know, they're still gonna go hang out with family. They're still gonna go hang out with friends. And the way I was gonna have it work is, okay, I'm gonna give you like full trust to like not go behind my back and try something sneaky, but in exchange, I also expect that trust. Yeah, there. You know, I mean, relationships kind of take two people to build. So if I'm always reaching out and the other people I talk to have a hard time with that, armadillos cute. Alright, cool. I don't know what kind of wood I want to make my house out of. I don't know, maybe I could do both. I'm gonna need some food. Can I eat the scoot? No, I cannot eat the scoot. Looking like a fine slab of beef, aren't we? Yeah, king. Yeah, I want to kind of keep the cows alive for now, because if I find wheat, I could make a farm with them later. Alternatively, I could just jump off a cliff. I mean, I have keep inventory on. Alright, the pigs it is. Sorry, I know. You know, he almost beat me. But yeah, I've just been real angry and lonely, and it just seems like, you know, I want to kind of tell her how I feel, but I don't know, I'm afraid that if I show I need support in some things, that she'll get scared and leave. And you know, I mean, I'm not expecting like her to take care of me, you know, it honestly should be the other way around, but just would be nice. We had one date. Sorry, no, we didn't have one date. We had multiple dates, but there was one date where I felt like that I wasn't nervous anymore, and she wasn't nervous either, because, you know, she's pretty nervous, and we both never did this before. You know, I'm not angry at her, and I'm just angry at the fact that, you know, she seemed to lose interest. And we went on this date at a museum, and there were moments where we would just chill. It didn't feel like I had to say anything, and it just felt like we understood each other. we found this attraction where there was this rotating plate of sand. She put the sand in a neat little flat circle, and then I took the rake and we made a nice little swirl out of it, and you know, it just kind of felt romantic. It was very nice. I got a picture that day too. We were both really happy. I'm not. If I ask her, to, like, you know, hey, are we good? You know, stuff like that. She might leave, and you know, I'm kind of scared of that. I haven't been able to, like, take care of my anger problems on my own, but you know, if I get a girlfriend, she shouldn't have to put up with that. It's not fair. Until I get it under control, I don't think I should have one. You know, it's my responsibility to fix, as much as easy as it is to blame other people. And you know, at this point, I don't even think if it matters if it's other people just not treating me unkindly or not. I can only control myself. And you know, if I became like a good fighter in a hypothetical scenario, then you know, that would require a lot of control, a lot of discipline. And I kind of sort of have that ish. In some situations I do, but in other situations I just get really ticked off. And you know, at some point you just keep getting angry over and over and over again, and you just assume you can't change. And you know, I know it's kind of a bit of pessimism. Am I starving to death? Forgot that could happen. Like, I never actually let the hunger bar get that low before. I can't cook things in a blast furnace, can I? And I can't have lava chicken because the chicken will evaporate. Alright, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go explore, and then I'll come back and build my house, because I usually go explore around the world anyway. I would like to find some cherrywood trees. That's what I ideally would like my house to be made out of, because usually my houses in Minecraft are just made of oak wood, oak door, you know, very basic. If I'm feeling a bit adventurous today, I'll add a second floor. Ooh, and that second floor will be a cube. Very nice. Close enough. You know, I guess I could also make the house out of multiple different kinds of wood. Come to think about it, I might build it right over there. It's near water, it's got a nice stone ground. It seems like it's a good idea. And you know, I guess with the whole church community, it's hard for me to be vulnerable with them, because I feel like people need me to be strong. And you know, I don't want to let them down. I mean, you know, because I could talk to God about my problems. Great. Hit the ground super hard. Are you kidding me? That was like 2 blocks. No, don't you think I forgot about you. Sorry. Where did I put the furnace? Ooh, come to think about it, this lava pit will be useful. I wanna, you know what? I'm gonna place this here. I kind of want to remember that the lava pit is there. Oh yeah, I'll remember it's there. There it is. I'll just take these for now. Oh, no. Now that's not good. I mean, that could be a good mining spot, but don't you think they'll, like, bother the villagers? If I build a wall, I'm gonna have to go up and then around and then over here, and then maybe I can make a little door to get to the mine area. But for now, I'm gonna explore. Sorry about that. And, you know, I've been trying so long to, like, change, but it just feels discouraging when nothing goes right. I tried getting a friend group, they're all busy. And, you know, I can't even blame them for that, because of course they're gonna be busy. You know, people have busy lives. And it's just an unfortunate fact that I won't always be able to, like, hang out with friends or, like, rely on emotional support. I gotta kind of be my own emotional support. And, you know, sometimes I have trust problems with God. Sometimes it just feels like he wants to use me to, like, help other people. And then I think to myself, well, okay, if that's true, then, you know, what's the problem with that? I mean, I think it's fine when he does it because his purposes are good. And, you know, I still trust in him, even though sometimes I have problems with that. But, you know, I never actually even considered the possibility that I could just leave if I really was fed up with, you know, just restraining myself. I could just let it all go and I could be as terrible of a person as I want. You know, who cares about morality? Who cares about other people? I need to take care of me and my own. I could do that, but, you know, why would I give up the opportunity to be forgiven by a God that will never give up on me? And even though he hasn't, like, given me everything I asked for yet, I know one day he will. And that makes me feel better right now. That's kind of how I cope with all this. And, you know, it's very easy to forget that. I know that doesn't really... That's not really gonna work for everyone, especially, like, you know, if you don't believe in God. And, you know, my ultimate goal is to kind of not just say I'm part of the church, but actually be the church. You know, I just... Sometimes I feel like just going to church isn't really where I belong. Sometimes it feels like I belong, you know, in places like my D&D group. You know, once everyone's close enough to me, I'm gonna introduce them to God, and if they're alright with it, then I'm gonna bring them to him. And if they're not alright with that, that's cool. We could still play Dungeons and Dragons, and that's fine. I just want to give them a gift. You know, that people shouldn't feel like you're trying to recruit them. They should feel like you're trying to, like, be their friend and you care about them. In fact, one of the people there said my my religion was bullshit. And, you know, that did make me angry at first, but then I kind of thought for a second, wait a second. You know what? He's actually been really chill to me. Very kind. Even more so than the people in my church somehow. And, you know, even if he chooses to keep thinking what he thinks, that he's still gonna be my friend. He's still gonna be my homie. It makes me really sad that we can't really hang out as often. And I don't know, people just feel... Ooh, Enderman. People just feel kind of flaky, and that's frustrating. It feels like I have to do all the work, but... you know, I can't really be resentful of that because I choose to do that. It's a choice I make. And I have to accept my choices. You don't... You can't, like, change anyone. But you could change yourself. And, you know, there will be times where you just... This is a funky looking jungle biome. What's going on? What's the deal? Nope. Nailed it. But yeah, you know, sometimes it has been hard to kind of keep going. And just, like, trying to make my life better. I want something more to my life rather than just... playing video games, and, you know, that's pretty much it. And, you know, the boxing stuff does help, but what I really want is, like, connections, and to help people, and to form meaningful communities, and stuff like that. That's a goal of mine. And, you know, if you even made it this far in the video, I would appreciate if you helped me make that goal a reality. And, you know, I've been thinking a lot about, like, masculinity, too, and, you know, toxic masculinity. How people think, oh, you gotta be aggressive as a man, and, you know, they're partially right. I mean, you kinda gotta be able to stand up for yourself if someone's trying to walk all over you, because somebody trying to use your good nature against you is ridiculous. And you shouldn't put up with it. I know it happened to me. I had to learn the hard way. And, you know, they're definitely right about things like discipline. You know, that's a very important tool. Still, though, I do wish that, you know, people were a bit more open about their feelings, especially, you know, other guys. It feels like I connect better with women. And, you know, and let's be honest, I'm not really better than other guys. Like, you know, I get angry too, I have the same vices. And, well, you know, come to think about it, I guess women could also get angry too, but that's beside the point. I'm kind of losing the script here. Yeah, I feel like men and women both have really great qualities. And they could kind of cancel out their weaknesses together. But they just don't do that because it's too difficult for the other person to admit their mistakes and their flaws. And, you know, we kind of push other people, oh, yeah, well, women suck at this, well, and then they're like, oh, well, men suck at this, and... You know, it doesn't really matter because we all suck at something. Yeah. Ooh, I think that's a ship. yeah, it just doesn't really seem like people communicate with each other, and it makes me sad. And I feel like social media is a great tool, but it's also, it kind of makes people weaker when it comes to actual in-person conversations. Like, I'm not even as good at like texting or social media like that. I still reach out to people. I just do it over text message because that's what I like doing the best. I'm something of an old soul. But in spite of everything, in spite of whatever happens, I'm still going to try to chase my goals, and I'm gonna choose to believe in a better version of myself, even when it seems like it's so far off. And it's sometimes hard to acknowledge the fact that have made progress. I have been doing better. And you want to get better so bad that you just start beating yourself up whenever you fall short. But that doesn't really make you better. That just makes you more angry when you fail. I was really angry with my best friend. They just ignored me when I said that they were. Hang on. I said I wouldn't go into that. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into that. I'm not gonna talk about it. They just didn't treat me very good. That's it. I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, it's just so hard to like let go of stuff like that. And I've even made videos about it before, but that's because I thought, oh, if I make a YouTube video about it, that means I don't have to do any of the emotional work. But no, I do. And I have been. I want that chest. I wish there was a treasure map. Yeah, like, I'd probably be very upset and ranting about what they did to me right now. And, I just don't think it's really healthy for me to revisit it anymore. Oh, yeah, I know, Mr. Sammy. I got a dog. He's my buddy. He takes care of me, I take care of him. Yeah, I like Minecraft. Minecraft's like my comfort game. No cherry wood trees. Man, I don't know. This world generation seems kind of funky to me. I don't know why. It just seems like there's a lot more water than I usually see. Do I have those bushes already? No, I really like these firefly bushes. I'm gonna get you. Yeah, I could give you all the advice in the world. And in fact, as a coach, I'm gonna try doing that with my clients. Well, I guess I'm not technically a coach yet. I need to get certified still. I'm halfway done with the course. But I don't know. I think right now I just need to kind of practice. Like, I keep saying like I need to practice the nutrition stuff. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables. I definitely do think I need to be eating more, actually, because I burn so much energy. I exercise a lot. You know, the funny thing is that even like the boxing stuff isn't like the full exercise I do. I run with my dog. I go on multiple nature walks because it helps me relax. You know, one day when I have a girlfriend, I want to take her on nature walks too. I, I might reach out to the person. I might not. I'm not really sure what to do in that regard. And I will just see what happens. You know, when I was little, I wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber so bad. I could never really figure out how to record, though, till recently. How to use OBS, stuff like that. But, I'm gonna be real honest, I just don't think that I'm cut out to be a video game Let's Player. I'm not really cut out for it, however, I will still do it as long as I find it enjoyable. I think if I did have a niche of content, well, I guess, what on earth is that? What the hell is that? So, what's with those ugly ass trees? I'm sorry for swearing. The trees are so terrible. Why is it gray? Is this Terraria? Am I gonna have to fight off the infection now, or whatever it is? The corruption, that's it. Wait, no, I think there's the corruption, and then there's the infection. I haven't played Terraria in a long time. You know what? I'm gonna keep these leaves. I'm gonna use them as decorations by my house. Yeah, I think, you know what? 64 leaves will be enough. Oh yeah, I am gonna need a bed, so big L to the sheep. Sorry, Mr. Sheep, I need 6 pieces of wool. Because I like my beds bigger. Alright, let's go find out what kind of wood that is. If it's not ugly wood, I'll make it into my house. And I'll bring it back and plant trees, as long as that's not gonna turn my nice green dirt into the ugly ass. God. Swore again. I'm trying to like not swear as much. Yeah, I feel like it's a crutch for my vocabulary. I don't have a problem if anyone does swear, as long as it's in like jest and not like calling other people names. But you know, I think even still, like, it's alright to joke around sometimes. I mean, everyone jokes in healthy relationships. I just think that people don't really know like what's acceptable to call someone out on, and what stuff you should let slide, and what stuff is, you know, too much joking. Well, that's a nice spot. Alright, let's take a look. Pale oak wood. Oh yeah, this is it. I can have a white wooden house. It's dope. You know, fun fact, on my original mining and mindfulness anger episode, which I made, I wasn't able to post it because one, the audio wasn't working for some reason, and I really hope that doesn't happen again when I'm filming. But two, I was killing these pillagers at this tower because I wanted to make it my home, and they would just not go away. I was killing pillagers for like an hour straight. I didn't have the proper equipment to do so. I just charged at them, knowing if I die, there was no consequences for doing so, except my equipment would break down. I even used like snow golems, and I was really pissed because apart from me doing the same thing over and over and again for an hour, it was some pretty entertaining content. I am gonna play Team Fortress 2 as well. I think that's gonna be my more like chill, joking videos. Oh yeah, like and subscribe, by the way. I got you. I got you. I got you. You thought this was self-improvement? It's just one big self-advertisement. Buy my book when it comes out. Don't give it bad reviews. If you give it bad reviews, I'm gonna write another book, talking trash about the reviews. Oh, don't listen to the reviews. They're just damn dirty trolls. Hang on, can I get like saplings of these? Where'd I cut it down? Man, I really want more of this wood. Alright, I think I'm gonna build my house and then I'm gonna call the episode. Yeah, I really hope to open like a coaching business someday. That'd be really cool. My original dream was to own a parkour gym, but being a like nutritional coach, life coach kind of guy, that also works with me. And even if I keep my original job, I'm alright with that. I was thinking I just kind of wanted to try. What? Oh. It's a different type of flower. It's interesting. I'm gonna throw one of these away because I only need two. I really need like a sapling of one of these. Oh, I just picked up the firefly bush again. Away it goes. And, before I coach people, I definitely need to kind of take care of my own stuff. And I need to find a way to save my Dungeons and Dragons game. Alright, pickaxe is about to die. What do? Alright, I got stone. I could fix it. This kind of reminds me of a story. Or at least the whole toxic masculinity thing does. Um, my old parkour coach was trying to get me to do this move. It was just hanging on the bar a certain way, but I couldn't do it. I kept, like, turning over, and I was like, Coach, I can't do it. What the hell is that? Yeah, I'm getting out of here. I don't want to mess with that thing. Alright, you know what? I'm making the authoritative decision on swear words. I think hell is fine. I think ass is fine. I think damn is fine. I just don't want to say sugar honey iced tea or the F word. I find those two to be kind of unpleasant. Alright, really want to kill Enderman. Ooh, I gotta get those flowers. Oh yeah, happy men's... I didn't even see... I walked right into him. Alright, 8 flowers should be enough. Oh yeah, happy men's mental health month, by the way. I wonder what a shaved brick would look... That's dope. Alright. I really want to, like, get saplings of these, but I need to cut down a tree that's alone, so that way its leaves will dissipate. Come on, I'm right there. Alright, cool. This is chill. I can work with this. Yeah, I gotta say, these pale oak logs are dope. I kinda wanna mine downwards. I don't want the zombies to get me, though. Come to think about it, that skeleton's still around, isn't he? I can hear him rattling. Yeah, I see you. You know, this is gonna take longer than I thought. I wonder if I should just cut to when I start building the house. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll cut to when I start building the house. And I'll finish up the episode that way. It'll give me some time to reflect and hopefully not get shot. See you over there. I died. I died before, like, not even a minute after the cut. Alright, cool, we do have an iron golem. Great. Wait, there's a zombie around here. I heard a villager cry. Also, is it bad to loot the villagers, like, blast furnace and stuff out of spite? Alright, bad news, I wasn't able to get the saplings for these pale oak logs. The good news is that I do have plenty of wood. I could start building the house. You know, I never really heard like somebody actually say this in real life, but people don't actually like tell people they're trauma dumping, right? That's not a real thing, is it? Because if so, that seems incredibly rude. I mean, you know, you shouldn't. And yeah, I get it. There's like therapists and stuff to talk to about, but you know, it's kind of different when you have like a supportive group. You know, the ideal of friendship is that everyone kind of supports each other. Oh, man, this is like the perfect house location. It's overlooking the ocean. What more could I want? I'm not sure how I would ever feel about living next to the ocean. I do like seafood and all that, but I don't know. I feel safer where I'm at. And maybe I'll try it someday. Who knows? All right, let me. Alright, I'm thinking I'll build the house here. I'll make it like a bit of a longer house, but also a bit of a thinner house. You know, come to think about it, I don't think I've ever put any thought into like building a house like this ever. What is gonna stink though is I am gonna have to get more of that pale oak wood if I run out. Either that or I could use Arcadia logs. Alright, I'm thinking maybe I place a chest down. Put the cobblestone in there. Alright, I'm thinking maybe I use the pale oak logs as like the walls of the house and the roof, and then I use the red logs as kind of a contrast for them on the roof. Gee, why does your mom let you have 2 crafting tables? I don't have any sticks. You know, even though I felt like I didn't really have mature friends I could connect to in the program, uh, the special ed program was definitely when I felt like I had like really good connections. The only problem was that they weren't very good at, how do I put it? They did nothing wrong. It's just that, you know, they were kind of stunted. I mean, it's kind of awkward when, you know, you're a grown man and you're playing Super Mario Zombie Tag. What I will say about them is this, though. Even though they had kind of a different way of expressing it, I think they cared about me more than anyone. And honestly, I wish I was more grateful. Alright. Give me some of that The American dream of the white picket fence. I wish this dirt wasn't here. If I make this part, if I make, I need to find a way to like get stone. You know what? I'll just cover over it. Alright, I got it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make an oceanside view window right here. And maybe I could have a little balcony that leads out to it. And the bigger I can make the house, the better. Alright, this could work. And then when I get enough railroad tracks, I can make a wall around that village, and I can make a railroad track into the village. I at least want to get the foundation set up. Like, this is probably where I'm going to be sleeping, over here. Yeah, I'm really proud of myself, because this is no longer just a square. It's got dimensions. I forgot about that. Alrighty. And then maybe I could have my like kitchen area over here. I definitely want an enchanting room, but I'll probably just stick with the base design for now, and then add on to it later. Alright, it's in my inventory. Oof. Still seems slightly off. Eh? Eh? Ah, oh, damn it, it looks like a giant penis. Whatever. And then this will be kind of like the doorway. I want it to be daytime. I prefer the build in the daytime, and I don't want the zombies messing up the villagers. Sorry, I kind of like ran out of stuff to say. I'm kind of feeling tired. I need to go to sleep. The only time I can really record is during the evenings. That's cool. Could have sworn I heard a creeper hiss. No more zombies. You know, I hope I can find a wolf again. I knew that was gonna happen, but yeah, I ran towards him anyway. Man, it would really suck if those creepers came along. I do intend to, like, get better at boxing. I'm just not really sure what to pursue right now. I'm not even sure if I should go find a new church or not. I don't know, it just feels like I'm called for something different. Maybe to go get people who aren't in the church. Or maybe even to make a church community myself. And, you know, quite honestly, and just because Christians don't really live up to the standards, it doesn't really mean that they're bad. I mean, if God cares about them, I should care about them too. I'm just kind of afraid of being too agreeable. This wonderful, perfect. I'm telling you, this is like the best house I've ever made, without a doubt. You know, come to think about it, yeah, I'm gonna make glass. Alright, I got 7 pork chops. That should definitely be enough. Maybe I should keep that seed. There it is. God, I love Minecraft. And it still feels like I'm 24 right now. It still kind of feels like I'm a kid. Just trying to figure things out. but that's alright. I don't think I actually finished my coach story. I think I got distracted. Yeah, I don't think I finished that. So basically, the coach. Hang on. Alright, it sounded like someone was walking around. I'm not sure. But yeah, basically the coach story is he wanted me to hang from this bar. I couldn't do it because I kept twisting in the wrong direction. I said I couldn't do it, and he said there's no can't in my gym. We're gonna send you to the baby class because you can't really do this. And I got pissed off and I left and I never came back. And I thought he was like arrogant and rude and not really that good of a coach. And I don't think he was, but I still should have listened to his point of not quitting on things so easy, because that was kind of the point he was making. Alright. Let's see. I could probably make this glass too. Yeah, that's it. You see that island? That's my island. In fact, I'm gonna make a little window so that way I could glance over at my island. Don't ask what happens on that island. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Now I just need beds. I only got 4 pieces of wool. It doesn't seem like I'm gonna get my double wide bed after all. Oh, hello. Are sheep's vegan? Whatever. Here. Sorry. I know. Uh-oh, Herobrine must be about. I definitely didn't place that there earlier. Of course you're a black sheep. Wait, no, don't clip that. Not the right color either. Ah, yes, the only correct color. You know what? I want a yellow bed this time. I never get a yellow bed. I usually like the red colored beds. But yeah, I feel like Minecraft. really helps with relaxing a bit. Isn't it great? Beautiful. What do I do with this piece of glass? Alright, I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna cook raw beef in the same place I was just melting sand into glass. So what could possibly go wrong? Ooh. I kind of want to build a mine shaft, but I don't know where. You know what? I'll save these for later. Check it out. Semi-automatic doors. Love it. Yeah, you know, long story short, you can't always control your circumstances, but you can control how they affect you. And, you know, I know sometimes that seems really hard, but you shouldn't give up trying. It's worth it, I promise, even if it's just a little bit better every day. You know, it's good to trust in the process. It's good to be thankful for things, and you know, I'm very thankful for what I have, even if, you know, I don't necessarily have the connections I want. I'm still, like, healthy and I can walk around and stuff. You know, someday when I wake up, I hope that I have a heart of gentleness and compassion. And I like to believe it's still there, but it just seems bitter and jaded. Alright. You know, I think that's as good as I'm gonna get on the house right now. I'll... Who needs a roof? It's a sunroof. I'll, I'll work on that next episode. Anyway, I hope this helped in some way. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.